So if I'm suspecting that a person might have a C-spine or a neck or a head injury, I'm going to start asking them questions first. I would say, what happened? I would say, did you lose consciousness? I would ask, does your head or your neck hurts? I would ask, does it hurt anywhere else? I would ask, do you have any numbness or tingling, like in going up your arms or down your arms? I would also be asking, do you have any burning in your chest? And the reason that I would be asking this is to rule out a head injury or a neck injury, or to try to rule out cardiovascular. So next, I will be moving on to the inspection. So I'm going to first look at his skull, and I'm going to see if there is any raccoon eyes, if there's any battle signs, or if there is any CSF fluid leaking out of his nose or his ears. I'm also going to check his pupils, and I'm going to see if they're dilated or if they're unequal. I will also be looking at his cervical vertebrae, just to see if there is any crepitus or fractures, or if his neck is positioned abnormally. All right, so I will be moving on to the palpation part. I am actually going to start. Again, I'm going to check his cervical vertebrae, and I'm going to be feeling for tenderness, if there's any dislocations, if there's any crepitus or deformities. Yeah. Next, I will be moving on to muscular, so I'm going to be looking to see if there's any muscle spasms going on. I am going to move on to the skull, so I'm just going to be basically feeling on his facial to see if there's any fractures, again, if there's any crepitus, deformities. That's what I would look for. So neurological testing. So first, hold out your fingers. No, just hold out your fingers. So I'm going to gently touch, and I'm always going to test bilaterally. So I'm gently going to touch his fingers and his toes, but for this, I'll just touch his fingers. And I'm going to ask, basically, I'm going to ask, do you have any numbness or tingling, or does this feel the same as this, to rule out a spine injury. Next, I'm going to gently squeeze his fingers and his toes, again, bilaterally. I'm going to be asking, do you have any numbness or tingling, and if they feel the same, to rule out spine injury. Next, I'm going to ask the patient to squeeze my two fingers. Yep. Bilaterally. And I'm going to be checking for weakness or paralysis, again, to rule out a spine injury. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him push against my hands while I push on his toes. So, go ahead. Basically, I would do that bilaterally, and I would be looking for weakness or paralysis, again, to rule out any spinal injuries. And then next, I'm going to do sensory testing, dermatomes. So basically, I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I'm going to say, does this feel the same as this? And then, does this feel the same as this? Do upper and lower. Again, seeing if he has the same sensation on both sides to rule out a spinal injury. Yeah, okay.